Not far off from your prediction, Gulati, but yes, 245 for 6. Yes, normal service restored on that airport strip of a road in Uppal. It's taken off with Shreyas Iyer absolutely hammering the SRH bowlers all around with 82. Marcus Stoinis ending the game with a flourish. 4 consecutive sixes of Mohammad Shami. And also contributions from all the others. Nehal Vadera also chipping in, although slightly slower than what you would expect. But yes, 42 from Prabh Simran, 36 from Priyan Sharia, all in the strike rates of 276, 182. Shreyas Iyer and Marcus Stoinis ensuring 245 for 6. Mohammad Shami escaping by just 1 run for having the joint most expensive bowling figures in the history of the IPL. But overall, decent recovery from Cummins. Harshal Patel showing his worth with 4 for 42. Ishan Malinga, the debutant, with 2 for 45. And gentlemen, Shashwat's backing Sunrisers Hyderabad to chase it down. So what do you think? Total way beyond Sunrisers, or do you think
let's first get to Shashwat because we 3 had picked PBKS at the start of the match, knowing very little about the strip, how it would be behaving, etc., etc. Shashwat backed them, but I just want to know, while knowing Shashwat, I know he's going to stick to his prediction. But do you feel iffy at the moment, halfway stage, when you see that kind of a total?
See, I'll be lying if I say I'm not iffy at this point. Anybody, when you know that there are more than 240 runs on the board, anybody would be iffy. And so am I. I know it's not going to happen on 9 out of the 10 occasions whenever a team goes out. But if on one occasion it's going to happen, I feel it's the Sunrisers Hyderabad who can do it. They've had one good game this season, and that day they went on and scored 280 runs. So if they have a good day, this is what they can do. And this chase today, why I feel they can still go on and chase this total, and the reason for that is that I feel that because today their batters will be really straight up. Their heads will be very clear. They don't have to think about do we have to play defensive, or they don't need to think that how they have to approach this chase. They are very clear, and the approach that they have to approach it with is the approach that they have been playing with for so many years. So today, for one season before and now the games that they have played. So today I think they will be backing themselves a lot when they go back into the dressing room, realizing that the wicket is really flat, and the kind of bowlers Punjab Kings has, just the one spinner, there's a possibility that they get in Harpreet Barar today, but I feel that that's highly unlikely because they haven't done this till now. It's going to be either Vijay Kumar Vishyak or Yash Thakur, who played the last game. It most likely could be Yash Thakur as well. And I feel if Travis Sheikh get going from the very first ball itself, I think I won't be surprised if they go on and chase.
But the one thing, while there's one team, if there's out there that you back to get this kind of a total, it has to be Hyderabad. They have the resource, they have the firepower. But all those big totals, and correct me if I'm wrong, all those big totals that they've posted, a 287 that we seen from them, a 288 last year that we saw from them, and countless other occasions which
278.
we saw them breach the 250 mark as well. All of those scores were posted batting first. Never batting second have they registered those big scores. So now, knowing that fact, how do they approach this chase?
Harshit said the only thing why I'm saying that they have no other option but to approach it aggressively, and I feel that is why they have an outside. I'm still saying I know at this point it's definitely heavily leaning towards the Punjab Kings, definitely 80-20 if I have to say as far as percentages are concerned. But for SRH today they can go out and bat with a clear head, and Abhishek Sharma can
240 also. You're saying 80-20?
80-20 in favor of Punjab.
I'll give a higher percentage. How about you guys?
90-10 for me.
95-5.
I'm going 95-5. Team batting first, scoring 245 after batting first.
Yeah, that is also
95-5 for
that
me.
is also, ideally that could have been.
But I agree with Shashwat on one thing. If there is that 1 out of 10 times that such a chase will happen, and if there's one team you would put your money on, has to be then SRH. Even though historically they've never done so in the second innings, they've got all these big scores only in the first innings. They do have the firepower. If there's a Klassen there, there's Travis Sheikh there, who I know haven't fired, but if they can give you 70-80 runs right up top like Punjab got today, Who's stopping them, or who's disallowing them from getting to 2 for 6?
But Shreyas Iyer, I feel, tremendous batting today. Just the kind of shot, the sixes that he hit.
Why do you say that with a smirk?
No. Honestly, I'm really happy, and I feel I'm getting to why is there a smirk, because what I was going to say next would have definitely indicated that as well. That Shreyas Iyer coming into the T20 team in place of a Tilak Verma, I wouldn't be surprised if that's happening.
It's happening.
Just after the IPL. And at second time he's lost, he's not gone on and scored his 100. I think this might just go in favor of Shreyas Iyer as well, not being able to get to 100, because both the times what's going to trend on social media is a selfless innings by Shreyas Iyer, because at 82 also.
But today, why the selfless thing?
Because he's continued to take on the attack.
Yeah,
But he got those runs because-
so you're saying because he didn't slow down?
Yeah, because he didn't slow down getting closer to the 100, because as soon as he got out, the first reaction I heard on the desk was of Gulati sir that today should have been 100 for Shreyas Iyer, and at that moment I thought that he would also have been thinking about this. He missed out on 100 a couple of games back, 97. He would definitely, that 100 would be on his brain, but it's very good to see that he's not going after that despite missing out on it once. So that is, and he's seen that others have. It's not like nobody else has scored a century till now. He knows that there are players who are getting to their centuries. So not going for this, I think that indicates. And no shot of his was unorthodox. One shot of Mohammad Shami, the last 6 that he had, the amount of distance that travelled and how high that went, just how sweetly he's timing the ball at this point of time in his career is just amazing to see.
I think we'll obviously, have a lot of time to wax lyricals on Shreyas Iyer, and maybe, Punjab Kings, if they get to a win here against Sunrisers Hyderabad. But one thing that I like about PBKS here, and it's something that had been, mentioned by Priyansh Arya also in the, previous game when he got 100 there, that it's just about acting on the first instinct that comes to your mind. And that's what Punjab Kings are doing very well. People can actually say that maybe they are playing the SRH, brand cricket, something that they did in 2024. But I think this is pretty much an SRH like brand cricket, but with some kind of brain. Because PBKs seem to have, some kind of a plan B. They know how they, want to go about their work. We have seen, Shreyas Iyer and Nehal Vadera switching gears also. Even Nehal Vadera, when he played that first game of his, of the tournament here this time, he got to that calculated 40 odd. So overall, PBKs, I think, are doing well. And one thing where I feel, they are head and shoulders ahead of most of the IPL teams here is the batting depth. If you have Marcus Stoinis and Marco Jansen coming in at number 7 and number 8, and you are yet to give chances to the likes of Josh Inglis, Suryansh Shedge, and the other batters also, I think
Shedge you tried once, I think.
He just played, one
knock.
one
innings
knock.
is all you got.
But I get your point.
Punjab Kings are looking lethal, to say the least.
They increased the bowler, and I think one thing that even Nikhil sir once mentioned, that Gujarat Titans have the liberty to play a batter less. That's because their top order and middle order is firing. They also, I think with Punjab Kings, that's the same thing. They have the liberty to let go of a Suryansh Shedge to fit in another bowler. That's because the top order,
But this side does look like a batting first side to me.
Yeah.
I don't think they're playing enough bowlers in this one. So
they
you
did
got
chase
three.
it down in the first game that they played against LSG. They chased it down very efficiently. They defended a total of 232 versus Gujarat Titans.
Did not really do well against Rajasthan Royals. The only loss they have had so far in the tournament.
Six bowling, 7 bowling.
So far, but
they're playing a bowler extra right now.
See, Yash Thakur might come in.
They have Jansen, Ferguson, Chahal, Arshdeep, and Maxwell.
Marco
Jansen.
I said
No,
Jansen.
so there is Yuzi, there is Lockie, there's Arshdeep, there's Jansen. These are your permanent four.
And Maxwell.
Then you have Maxwell who'll chip in with a couple. No, you're definitely bringing in a...
Yash
Yeah,
Thakur.
you're getting
You're
a bowler,
definite-
but you have the...
So the instance you're talking about, that day Gujarat already had frontline bowlers.
No, but no. Why I'm saying that Glenn Maxwell they've used as a frontline bowler till now. He's been your second spinner all throughout the IPL. You're just going in with
So he's
Yuzi
second
Chahal.
fiddle, na?
Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying. He's second fiddle, and of course he chips in with his usual couple of overs, and then you'll turn to either a Vijay. I think it will be Vijay Kumar Vishak or Yash Thakur, depending on the situation.
See,
Yash Thakur played the previous match. I think it was CSK.
CSK.
Yeah,
But
He bowled pretty well that day.
he did. But then see
He bowled
now.
the last over as well.
I got rid of MS Dhoni.
MS Dhoni.
Yeah. Now everything will depend upon the Travishek Jodi because they don't have the depth. Sunrisers you have a Klaassen, but Klaassen hasn't fired yet. Today might be the day because it's an absolute road. There is absolutely no purchase for the bowlers. So they can just hit through the line. And it's a very harsh thing that you said, that they are batting but with brains. But that didn't work in the RR game when you look at it. They tried that aggressive.
It will not come off, on
aggression. Yeah, aggression when you are playing in 7th gear will never get you perfect days. Never. It either goes or it will be a spectacular disaster.
That's what has happened with SRH.
It's a very all or bust kind of a situation.
Yeah.
Either you look like heroes by the end of it, or you look like zeros.
Exactly.
I think that's what's basically the case with SRH. Now you won't really have to wait until the 20th over to see whether who is going to win this match. I'm pretty much sure that in the first 6 to 7 overs, if SRH lose a couple of wickets, then we all know whose game it is.
बात तो सही है. Indeed. But yes, SRH can either be hero number 0.
I can do it better than you.
I know that. See, they can be hero number 0 if they go all out, if they are 100 in 7 overs but are 8 down. That is the perfect definition of a hero number 0. So that's why it's looking an uphill task. They don't have the batting depth.
So either it's getting done inside 15 overs with a team getting bowled out, or it's going down right to ball number 120.
Yeah, could
It's
be.
no chance that they're
But I
chasing
think
it within.
the first option. They don't have the depth.
It's going to be very, very tough for the Sunrise Hyderabad to chase it. But why I'm still backing, the only reason is that if there is a team who can do it, it is either Sunrisers or Punjab.
The highest
Punjab has done
ever,
it.
the highest ever successful chase in the history of the IPL is, I think, the PBKS RR encounter.
KKR. PBKS.
Are it 260?
262.
Yeah, it was PBKS who did it.
PBKS who did
KKR
it.
only, na?
Yeah,
It was
but
best
prior
to-
to that, the
it was-
second highest was 230, if I'm not mistaken. That was chased down. 262 best indeed. You came close in that game, 287. You could chase down 288, 262. But, it's a road. That's why Arshdeep, remember, left-handers, Arshdeep, he does have a good record against them.
I think if they have had this chat in the dressing room, that all they need is 2 overs, 25 run overs, 2 and 10 runs apart from that. It's a very simple. Cricket is very simple. Make it as simple as possible. 2 overs, 20-25 and
He's
rest.
made the
10,
same
10.
mistake. He's been playing too much of stick cricket. I know that. One ball, top, 6. One ball, top, 6.
How many times have we seen Travis Head, shouldering his arms to, a new ball bowler in T20?
You just need
Wasim Jafar, Ashok Dinda waves.
2 25 run overs. That is all you need in the 20 overs
But-
and rest 10 overs.
But
We are not playing STPL. We are playing IPL.
Sir, I know, but I'm saying just to make yourself psychologically ahead.
That's a good way of breaking things down. And
I think he's in trouble.
No.
He's just
it is a
managed-
boundary. Leading edge.
He got a leading edge here.
We'll see plenty of these moments as SRH go along in this chase. I'm not giving them a high percentage, but we should all be entertained if they are to get anywhere
It will
close
be,
to this gigantic total of 245.
Exactly. So we'll be back for the post-match lengthier discussion on all the facets. Too late
We
here.
couldn't unfortunately take your questions right now, but guess what? We'll be back inside the next 120 minutes or sooner, depending on how this chase goes about. So watch the match, be entertained, and then join us as we try and break down the second innings of this match for you.
Bye-bye.